All right, today I want to talk about section 1.9. And 1.9 is called Numerical Expression Evaluation with Basic Operations. So we're going to continue talking about those expressions that we've been talking about before. And recall quickly that expressions are simply a number phrase with numbers and operations. And this time we're going to be needing to focus on our order of operations because the expressions that we're going to be getting are going to be much longer than the ones that we've gotten in the past. And remember, order of operations is something that tells us in what order we need to do each operation. All right, and if you remember, we have a phrase or an acronym that can help us remember what order we do these in, and this is Pemdas. And what it looks like is if I build it, I usually like to write it up and down, kind of like an acrostic poem, and each of these letters signifies an operation in the order that I need to do them first. So, for example, take a look at this one. If I write it like this, P, E, M, D, A, S. Here's why I write it that way. P stands for parentheses. So that means anything that is inside of parentheses, I need to focus on that first. And if it comes up where there's something more complicated inside of a parentheses, then I return back to my order of operations and do that. Sometimes I can even have nested parentheses, which means that I can have parentheses inside of parentheses. And that means that I'll have to do whatever is in the very inside of this first before I can go then to the outer set of parentheses and then finally to what is outside of it entirely. E. E is what's next. E is any exponents. I need to simplify any exponents that I have first before I can go on to the next step. Exponents, recall, are what we just talked about recently, and that's that base. So if I do 2 to the third power, or 2 cubed, this, of course, is my exponent. Those must be done next. Finally, in the previous times you may have learned multiplication, then division, but multiplication and division are really the same operation, so we do them at the same time. We just go from left to right, but it doesn't really matter because everything that's multiplied or divided, it doesn't matter the order that we do those things in. So, we do multiplication and division from left to right. And then lastly, the operations that we learned first, addition and subtraction, we'll do those at the very end. All right. Let's take a look at an example, and this time we're going to be evaluating a variable expression where they give us the value of one of the variables, just like we did before, except this time they'll be more complicated. For example, let's take a look at this. Example 1 says 4b plus 12 divided by 4 minus 8 when b equals 6. So the very first thing that I'll do, even before I do any of my order of operations, is I need to substitute in my variable before I can really know what's going on in this. So I'm going to rewrite the whole thing with my substitution in. And I really encourage you to do the same because it will save you a lot of trouble in the long run. So I'll just rewrite it like this. 4 times 6, because I can substitute that in just like I see over there, plus 12 divided by 4 minus 8. Okay, next thing I do, if I look up at my PEMDAS, do I have anything inside of a parentheses? Well, I have a 6 inside of a parentheses, but there's no operation there really, so I can kind of ignore that for now. I just need to remember that this means multiply and that there's an implied multiplication between these two numbers. No operations in the parentheses, so I'm good to go. Next, exponents. I don't have any exponents in here, so I'm good to go. I can go to the next thing. Multiplication / division. I definitely have some of that. I'm going to go from the left to the right, and I'm going to simplify all of those operations. Okay, 4 times 6 is 24. Plus, I'm not going to do my plus yet. I'm going to do my 12 divided by 4. I know that. That's 3 minus 8. Okay, now I check. I've done all of my multiplication and division. And lastly, I have my addition and subtraction left. So now I can go do that. And remember, I'm going to do it from left to right, but it doesn't actually matter what order I do them in, as long as I do it correctly, because I can move them around. But we'll talk about that in a couple sections out. 24 plus 3 is 27. 27 minus 8 is 19. So I just evaluated that using my order of operations. One quick caution. I would not use a calculator when solving these. When you use a calculator for this, it's not going to do order of operations. It's just going to go from left to right, and it's going to give you the wrong answer. You're going to need to do each piece separately in order to do it correctly, because it will not do order of operations. So do each piece separately. Because I think it's important to be able to use a calculator, but you need to be able to use a calculator correctly and when it needs to get done. Okay, if you're finished, go ahead and go on. I'll do maybe 1 or 2 more examples. Example 2. Let me find one that I like. Okay. That's really similar to the one we just did. Let's take a look at this. 5a plus 6 divided by 2 plus 9. A equals 5. Okay, I'm going to substitute first. 5 times 5 plus 6 divided by 2 plus 9. Okay, my multiplication and division, I'm going to do that step 1. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 6 divided by 2 is my next thing for my division. That's going to give me 3 plus 9. 25 and 3 is 28. Plus 9 is 37. Cool? Let me see if there's any exponents in the homework. I don't see any exponents, so we're good to go. Let's do one more quick example. This one says 48 over x plus 5y minus 7. X is 6 and y equals 9. Okay, I'm going to substitute in. 48 over x is 6 plus 5 times 9 minus 7. Okay, I'm going to do my division from left to right. 48 divided by 6, 36. I think that's 8. Yep. Plus 5 times 9. I'd like to do my little trick. 5. Put this one down. I have, you can't really see my fingers. That is 45 minus 7. 8 and 45 is 53 minus 7. Actually, I'll just do the 8 minus 7. So I have 46. Not too bad. Go ahead and good luck.